Alright, y'all. It's your boy, Mr. Zoo Nation. But today I wanted to talk about something. I wanted to talk about the ban list. Now I'm gonna be real with you. Uh the ban list is pretty interesting on for the most part. And the sad thing is not the ban list itself that's interesting. It's the reaction to the ban list that's interesting. So let me explain. Alright, so last week, on Monday and on Friday, we got a ban list for both JP and English. Understandable. We're about to have Spring Fest in less than a month, and we were due for a ban list. Understandable. Alright, so the thing is that a lot of people are mad at the ban list because they only hit stuff in V Premium and left overdress in premium format alone. Now, here's my thing. To be fair, overdress format doesn't really need nothing to hit in that format. Like, I personally think it's the most balanced format out of the three. And the reason being is because it's easier for anybody to get into, it's easier for newer players to get into, and this is the very first time in Vanguard that I've seen multiple trial decks become meta. Like, the closest to multiple trial decks that I ever seen meta at one point was literally around the time. Actually, no. I don't think there's ever been a time where multiple trial decks became meta. I think it was more of the trial deck came out and then like a couple of sets later it became meta. Because I was about to say, there was like that time where like Rumi Lambreth came out. And Harry and Night Rose was meta at one point, but they weren't meta immediately. And even though that's kind of the sort of the same thing with this particular thing, we're at a point where the original 5 trial decks are in the meta. So literally, somebody could come into the game, buy a trial deck, and upgrade it to a point to where and invest into it to where it becomes meta, which is actually pretty good in my personal opinion. But I digress. When it comes to V Premium, on the other hand, it needed the most help out of the 3 formats because we've seen it become a very linear format. Like, literally, if you were playing like Angel Feathers, Bermuda Triangle, Shadow Paladins, and Gold Paladins, you were literally going somewhere. But if you're playing anything else that was outside of those particular clans, you weren't doing shit in tournaments. That's how dominant those 4 clans are. And now most of them have gotten dealt with within this particular format. But you want to know why everybody's pissed at it? It's mainly the premium format players who are pissed at this because, for one, they don't give 2 fucks about V Premium. They give no fucks about V Premium. They believe that V Premium should not even exist. Which, I'm gonna be frank with you, as a person who plays premium format, if we had the choice to get rid of 3 formats, I'm not gonna bullshit here. I would actually definitely say V Premium. Because honestly, V Premium brings some stuff to the table, but not as much as Overdress in premium format. So yeah, if we have to choose one of the formats to go, most definitely V Premium. But I digress. They don't want premium format to exist. They're basically trying to get V Premium format players to play premium format, which is understandable. But I'm gonna get to the let's actually get to the nitty gritty. Honestly, there's two particular things that premium players want hit to believe that premium will be a quote unquote perfect format is Nightmare Doll Jenny and the Overtriggers in general. Now, let me talk about Nightmare Doll Jenny for one particular second. Me, as a person who played Nightmare Doll since 2017, am slightly pissed that everybody wants the deck dead. Now, I'm gonna be frank with you. I don't main Nightmare Dolls, but out of all of the Pale Moon decks that I have tried every single one. Nightmare Dolls is the one I was the most comfortable with. So I will just put that. I'm gonna just put that right there. But to actually see Nightmare Dolls actually become public enemy number one, I'm actually pretty surprised. I'm not even gonna lie with you. I'm actually hella surprised. But on the contrary, if Nightmare Doll Jenny so happened to get banned, don't get me wrong, I am going to be pissed. But I would get over it because I didn't main Nightmare Dolls. It was just a deck that I love to play for fun that so happened to become meta out of nowhere. So I will be pissed for a while, but I could still go to V Premium and play Nightmare Dolls there. They may not be that strong, they may not do shit, but it's better than nothing. On the contrary, when it comes to the Overtriggers, you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I was always 50-50 with Overtriggers because I felt like defensive wise, Overtriggers is actually a good thing for the game when you look at it from a defensive perspective, especially in a format like premium format where, let's be real, there's a lot of decks that can either OTK you or basically every clan, if I remember correctly, has some form of guard restrict, and that was literally your get out of jail free card. And let's be real on this, premium format has the best and the worst defense that Vanguard has to offer. It has the best because G Guardians exists. G Guardians is a very good way of looking at the game from a defensive perspective. It's a great way to give you defensive options, and it actually saves you from a lot of situations that both V Premium and Overdress format cannot save you from. However, G Guardians are also the most bullshit thing because, let's be real, this is where G Guardians is a thing that falls under Bushiroad playing favorites. I'll give you a prime example on this. Let's look at Gear Chronicle. Gear Chronicle has a way to defend people very easily with the G Guardian lineup that they actually have. They have a way to stop heavy attacks. They have a pretty good G Guardian Persona Flipper. They actually have Hetero Hound that exists where they can actually get rid of problematic cards. Sometimes those problematic cards may come back, but let's be real, in a situation where, for a prime example, you're going against like Great Nature and they're using Cran Tiger, you can basically just spin the booster or Cran Tiger himself and pretty much prevent like a restanding, even though it might come back, but still something is better than nothing. And then of course, let's say that like during your opponent's main phase, they buff this card that's going to be very problematic. You basically spin it with Hetero Round, and then you can get rid of the card with all the powers that that card basically had. But then you look at it from a perspective of, you can, like, unlike Denial Griffin, where you have to wait for that card to attack in order for you to use it, Hetero Hound is like, oh, I could do it even if the card that I'm trying to spin back into the deck isn't really doing nothing. Alright, that's pretty cool. Now let's look at a clan like Murakumo, where their Persona flipping G Guardian is like their only good one, where you have to be at GB1 and it gives you 10k, and for the rest of the turn any grade 3s or less goes back to the bottom of the deck, which is actually a pretty good recovery option. The problem is if Murakumo doesn't go first. That basically means that they're locked out of their best G Guardian because you have to be at GB1 in order to use it. But let's look at the other two options that Murakumo actually has that you can use if you're not at GB1. It's all like both of them are complete and utter garbage. Why? Because you have to actually have a rear guard in order to get the extra shield that the G Guardian requires. But you know what also becomes a problem? Let's say the Murakumo player is going against Kagero, where Kagero constantly blows their shit up, can constantly blow up the field up for no apparent reason. It's all like that basically means that they're just going to be using the G Guardian for a 15k shield, even though the heal trigger itself, assuming that everybody's using the heal guardians, is 15k itself. And the only thing you're using the 15k for is just to get like another, level on your GB researching thing. It's all like, but then you look at it from a concept of, regular triggers being like 15k themselves. It's all like, what is the fucking point? You cannot sit here and tell me that when you look at G Guardians from a perspective, Gear Chronicle and Murakumo are on the same level of defense. That is complete and utter bullshit if you say that. It's all like, basically, overall what I'm saying is there's just a bunch of G Guardians out there. There's like some clans that were blessed with good G Guardians, and then there's clans that has complete and utter ass to work with. So when you look at it from a defensive perspective of premium format, it's not good. Not everybody's on the same level. But you know what put everybody on the same level? Overtriggers. The Overtriggers, yes, I hate it on the offensive side of it. I don't think you should really get the additional effect of it. I personally think that the only Overtriggers that you should be using is the Cray Elemental, and that's it. But when you look at it from a defensive perspective, the Overtriggers is the only thing keeping the game afloat, keeping the weaker clans actually becoming playable in the game. It's all like, but you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I want the Overtriggers banned. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. It's not the same reason that everybody else want the Overtriggers banned. I want the Overtriggers banned so y'all niggas can shut the fuck up. Like, fuck. I am fucking tired of hearing this bullshit talking about, oh, premium format would be like the perfect format if the Overtriggers don't exist. Shut the fuck up! Damn! I'm tired of hearing that fucking conversation. I'm tired of hearing people saying, oh, it's gonna be the perfect format if Overtriggers don't exist. No! Fuck off! It's not gonna be the perfect format. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, the Overtriggers is the one thing kind of saving it. It kind of sort of is, but let's be real, I'm tired of it. Ban the Overtriggers so y'all niggas can shut the fuck up and talk about something else. I'm tired of this shit. It's only, but you know what? Let's put this into consideration. Let's say that the Overtriggers actually do get banned. Let's just say that. Let's say they come out with an emergency ban list. They ban the Overtriggers right now. You know what else is going to break the format? Premium Collection 2022. I shit you not. Premium Collection 2022 is going to put premium format back to square one. Yes, we're getting new G Guardians. Yes, we're getting new units. Yes, we're getting some reprints of some certain cards that most definitely do. But looking at Bushiroad track record, looking at their track record of how bad they fucked up in Premium Collection 2019. Look at how bad they fucked up in Premium Collection 2020. Let's be real. Premium Collection 2022 is going to be complete and utter ass. It's going to be complete and utter garbage. It's going to break the fucking format once again. Because let's be real, when you look at the restriction list, let's be real, you're going to see a mass majority of cards from Premium Collection 2019 or 2020 that is either banned, restricted, or put to one, or put to limited in some form of fashion. The same thing is going to happen when Premium Collection 2022 comes out. I'm happy that we're finally getting G Guardians where we should have got that shit like in Premium Collection 2020. I'm happy that we're actually getting new units, because let's be real, there were just some ugly looking ass motherfuckers in Premium Collection 2020, and that was an abomination, especially to my favorite clan, Mega Colony. We got the worst out of everybody in that whole fucking shit. I'm hoping that we actually get something pretty decent, but you know what? I'm not gonna hold my breath. Why? Because I know for a fact that that set is going to fucking break the game. Let's be real on that. But I digress. I want to know what everybody else think. Because I am fucking tired of hearing this fucking Overtrigger debate. I'm tired of it. We've been at this shit for a whole fucking year. Talk about something else. Damn. Talk about something else. Y'all act like fucking, I don't know, man. Talk about something else, man. I'm tired of it. Talk about something else. Get it to fucking together.